I'm Jura, the time traveler.
And I'm Cronus, the god of time.
And today we are talking about the real stories behind Harry Potter magical beasts. Ta-da! So we are taking some of the beasts from the Harry Potter universe and we are talking about the real historical data or the legends about these mythical creatures. And also we are going to talk about Greek mythology. So first, let's talk about Basilisk.
Yes, the king of snakes.
And what do we know about Basilisk from Harry Potter books?
Well, we know that he dwelled in Chamber of Secrets, and it was a large snake, and it had like that deadly gaze.
Only if you look at it directly. If you look at it indirectly, then you become petrified.
Yes.
Like Hermione.
So his weakness was the crowing of a rooster and phoenix.
No, Phoenix, not like Phoenix, but the antidote for its venom were Phoenix tears. Do you know that people actually believed basilisks existed? The first accounts of this serpent king we have from Pliny the Elder in 79 AD, and he wrote about this beast in his Natural History. So he described this snake as not a large one, but extremely venomous and extremely deadly. So that snake had a crown, white crown on its head, and it didn't move like a regular snake, but it was upright in the middle and then it moved like this. And the stare of this animal was also deadly. So if you look at it in the eye, you are gone.
Can you be petrified?
No, there are no mentions of petrification.
So you look at him and
you're
that's
dead.
it.
You're dead. That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Has anyone tried to tame this beast?
No, not to tame it, but there is one way to kill it.
Oh!
Yes, and that is to put the weasel into his burrow. And its weakness is the odor of the weasel. But that is a weasel suicide mission, because when weasel goes into that hole, it never emerges again.
Why weasels though?
Probably because the inspiration for basilisk came from cobra. And cobras...
From the movement.
Amongst other things, yes, because cobras move like this. And their predator, their only weakness is mungus.
It had a like little crown.
King cobras, yes, white crown on the head. And some types of cobras also spit venom directly into victim's eye. So that is probably the reason why it was said that if you look directly into basilisk eye, you are dead. It is known in different European traditions. Even Leonardo da Vinci wrote about basilisk in his Bestiary.
So I think we should move on from basilisk to phoenix, since they are very connected.
In Harry Potter universe, yes. So, what do we know about Phoenix in the Harry Potter universe?
It's a beautiful bird with red and gold feathers.
Yes.
It has healing powers and it's immune to the death curse. And what else?
It dies in flames and then it rises from its ashes. So it is practically immortal.
And basically it was loyal creature and symbol of Dumbledore's order.
And it was immune to Basilisk's stare.
And how about mythology? Where else can we find him?
We can find phoenixes in Greek mythology, but also people believed that they really existed. The first one to talk about phoenix was Hesiod in the 3rd century BC. And also, like in the Harry Potter universe, those birds were eternal ones, so they burned down and rose from the ashes. And phoenix is the symbol of the sun because it always moves, never dies, it always regenerates. And the first representations of phoenixes had like a halo around their head, so connection to sun. The first representation actually had 7 rays, like Helios, the personification of sun in Greek mythology. And also Pliny the Elder wrote that several phoenixes were spotted in Rome at crucial times.
So we are moving on to another bird-like creature, and this time it's Griffin. Well, it's half bird, half lion, I would say. with the
Yes.
head of an eagle and the body of lion.
And
And wings, of course.
And in Harry Potter universe, griffins were used for the protection of treasures.
And you can also find one in staircase near Dumbledore's headquarters as well.
That's a statue, not,
Yes,
not an actual griffin.
Yes.
And in real life, they appear in numerous Greek and Roman texts, and they're always associated with the gold. Usually the gold in Central Asia. And there are different depictions of griffins in different cultures. And they were especially popular during the Bronze Age. And in the throne room of the Minoan Palace of Knossos, we have depictions of griffins with eagle heads and lion's body but without wings. But the first depiction of griffins comes from the ancient Egypt, from the palette of the two dogs from Hierakonpolis. So it was a cosmetic palette that can be dated back to around 3300 or 3100 years BC.
Were they guarding gold there as well?
No, just makeup.
Why would they guard makeup?
Because it was expensive. And do you know what Pliny the Elder said about griffins?
He said that their nest contained golden nuggets.
Well, basically yes, that they laid eggs in burrows on the ground and that in those nests you could find some golden nuggets. But griffin then became hugely popular around the world, so even the Scythians depicted griffins, the Persians depicted them. They were also important imagery in Hellenistic culture, in Greek culture, in Rome, so they were worldwide phenomenon back then, so the old worldwide phenomenon.
What a hell of a franchise!
Golden franchise, because Flavius Philostratus in the 2nd century AD places them in India, where they were quarrying gold. They were actually quarrying stones that had golden specks in them. So they're always connected to gold and treasure.
And in Greek mythology?
In Greek mythology, there was a huge conflict between Griffins and Arimaspians. Griffins guarded the gold at the Ripon Mountains, and the neighboring tribe of one-eyed Arimaspians wanted to steal that treasure on horseback.
So here's a riddle for you. What has human head, body of a lion, and it's a security system in a wizarding world?
That's Sphinx!
Yes.
And it loves riddles.
Highly intelligent.
And it speaks. And she was placed in a maze during the 3rd task in the Tri-Wizard Cup. And Harry had to answer the riddle to pass her.
Of course.
So that is more or less like a representation of a sphinx in ancient Greece.
She's a lady.
Yes, and she likes riddles. But in ancient Egypt, where we have first accounts of Sphinx, it's a man head and lion's body. And he is the protector.
Of pyramid.
Well, of one pyramid, of Khafre's pyramid. And that is the largest Sphinx ever. But in ancient Greece, it's a bit different.
There's only one.
There's only one. And do you know who her parents are?
Yes, Ortrus, the two-headed dog, and Echidna, the woman snake.
And she was also the mother of Ortrus. And her brother was Nemean lion.
She was guardian of city Thebes, and she was placed there by Ares or Hera, we don't know that. And she would ask the famous riddle to people who wanted to enter the city, and if they didn't know the answer, she would eat them. And the riddle was...
Which creature has one voice but becomes 4-footed, 2-footed and 3-footed?
And only one man knew the riddle.
And that was Oedipus. And the answer to the riddle was...
Man.
Because human crawls when it's a baby, then it is two-legged as an adult, and at the old age,
he uses his third leg,
cane. And what happened to Sphinx?
She simply threw herself from a cliff.
And lastly, centaurs. So in Harry Potter universe, those are half men and half horses, and they are highly intelligent.
Yes, they know magic, healing, divination, and they are good warriors, and they usually dwell in forbidden forests.
That is one of the places where they dwell, but they're also very skilled archers and astronomers. And they're very popular from Greek mythology.
And how were they created?
Well, that's a bit of a long story, but to make this long story short, we have Ixion, who was invited by Zeus to dine on Mount Olympus. But Zeus saw one thing, that Ixion was in love with Hera. So to test him, he made a fake Hera out of a cloud, Nephele, and then Ixion made love to this fake Hera. Zeus was then extremely angry, so he damned Ixion to eternal damnation. And from that love between Ixion and Hera's clone, Centaurus was born. That was a deformed child that didn't like spending time with humans, so he moved to Mount Pelion in Thessaly. And there he mated with Magnesian mares, so that is how the entire race of centaurs was created. But there is one centaur that was different than the others and had a different origin story.
Yes, that was Chiron. His father was Titan Kronos, not me, and his mother was named Pelira.
But why was he different than the others?
Oh, well, his mentor was Apollo, and he taught him many skills like prophecy, archery, gymnastics,
herbs, medicines, music.
One truly Renaissance centaur. And since he was a teacher, his famous student was Achilles.
We hope that you are taking good care of your beasts in Harry Potter Legacy and that you are choosing your house correctly and wisely.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share and send to all, and we will see you in our next video.
Bye!